For me, this is probably the most fundamental of all the diagrams in my first 50 key diagrams in physical geography, because it describes the mechanism by which the atmosphere and ocean currents operate, because they operate to change this surplus of heat that we get in the equator to this deficit. It's an example of entropy, the movement of a gradient constantly working to decrease that gradient. So we can measure that by the heat flux or the energy flux. We've got lots of energy to transfer in those mid-latitudes, which is where the system in many ways is most dynamic. We have the surplus here, and remember these are two lines, so one is the heat received and one is the heat radiated out to space, and they cross over here. So surplus because the sun's rays are hitting almost orthogonal to the surface of the planet. Here, less heat received and more re-radiated back because the rays are coming in obliquely. So fundamentally, that's the driver. Now, this surplus to deficit varies with the hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere, it's pretty profound, but it's even more pronounced in the southern hemisphere because we've got land here and a shiny ice sheet on top in the form of Antarctica, which bounces the radiation back out, makes it even colder. So that's why the real dynamism in the climate system is often in the mid-latitudes. Climate change is also explained by this diagram, because if we change the surplus or the deficit ever so slightly, we change all of the systems that drive heat transfer, so atmospheric and ocean circulations. It's one of the key diagrams, and one I can't stress just how important it is.